Coast, and welcome to another episode of Coffee on the Coast, Quarantine Edition. We are moms in lockdown, and this morning I am delighted to be joined by a fellow mom and entrepreneur, Kristin Odell of Grow with Kale. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning.
How's everything going in your world this morning?
It's kind of just getting started today, so it's okay. I have my coffee. This is a repeat mug. Sorry, guys. But
Hey,
I
when
do
it's
have
good, why mess with the best?
I do have my Coolest Coast coaster here with me this morning, so we do match.
Awesome. Hey, I just wanted to note, you've probably heard that they say that the camera adds 10 pounds, right? Well, I am pretty sure that all of this is just quarantine pounds. So we've got that to go now.
Yes. My husband, Doug, I've been kind of sharing this. He has lost 12 pounds since he has been home. So
that is awesome. I think I've gone the opposite because I've been baking like all kinds of sweet treats and, I've been making custard. And so, yeah. Anyway, this morning, I just want to say good morning to everybody out there that's watching, and you're welcome to participate. And I see that Sarah Jane has already jumped on. So good morning, Sarah Jane.
Hi, Sarah.
One thing we wanted to talk about this morning is that on the coolest coast, a rising tide raises all ships, right? Like the better each one of us does, the better we all do together. And so now more than this morning, I just want to say it's really important to look out for one another, to support one another, to cheer for one another. All of those are beneficial, right? And here, Kristin, on the coolest coast, all across Manitowoc County, we have so many cool and thriving entrepreneurs in business. And so it'd be really interesting to know how people out on the coolest coast first are finding ways of embracing that concept of a rising tide raises all ships. How are people, supporting, donating to, cheering for, encouraging their favorite businesses and their favorite nonprofits?
Good. Yeah. I just have a couple of examples, and I think one of the things that we have to kind of keep in mind is social distancing doesn't mean not donating, not supporting, not helping. And I think I've got a couple of examples. So, I'm a lead commissioner and coach with the Manitowoc Youth Baseball Association, and they're still working to get that facility ready to go. And so they had somebody go out and prep all the work that needed to be done, and they spaced it all out. And then when we had time and it worked for us, we went and we actually put up one of the backstops on one of the fields, and we did it as a family. We didn't interact with anybody else there, and it was really fun, and it feels good to give back and do those activities. Another one that we did, this is a while ago, but we volunteer regularly at Encourage. And because of the safer at home order, we haven't been able to go and volunteer there. But Dana at the Flower Gallery was doing flower planting kits. And so we actually purchased some of those and had them delivered to Encourage so that the families and kids that are living there in the shelter right now could still have that activity and live something or take care of something that is growing. So, to your point, I think it makes us be creative and agile in how we think about things.
I agree. Right. And, we've heard a lot about restaurants in the news, right? So we're all keenly aware of how important it is to, support restaurants, be it takeout, curbside pickup. But this extends to and impacts so many, really all organizations, right? Like you were talking about the nonprofit Encourage. I think all of our nonprofits are impacted, all of the small businesses. I know our business is impacted, probably your business is impacted. So it'd be interesting to hear from some of the other entrepreneurs, moms, business owners out there. What are you experiencing? How are you rolling with it? And what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, our producer Jason is just putting up on the screen actually the definition of entrepreneur. Hello. It's one who organizes, manages, and assumes the risks of a business or enterprise. And you entrepreneurs out there on the coolest coast, you are essential.
Right. There's so many amazing small businesses in our community. I think we're so lucky to have those. Our small business friends here. And I just would really love to hear about how are they being agile, kind of how are they navigating, still offering. There's our friend Patty commenting. I love it.
Nice. So the Red Apple and Glaze and Paint have been life-saving shopping locations for the kids
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so picking up different activities or interactive, books and craft projects. That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I know. We actually, so my friend Katie over at Glaze and Paint, she put kits together and they've got a couple of different art projects and like basically everything you need to do at home. And my girls loved it. And I feel like they were reasonably priced and they keep her in business. We want
That's
Katie to be
awesome.
here.
And that is such an important point too, is the kids, right? Like we really need to make sure that kids are going to come through this whole experience okay. And if you just saw on the screen, I love that graphic, reminding us what we're even talking about is that rising tide raises all ships. So the more we cheer and support one another, the better off we'll all come through this.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing about that quote is when we think about how some businesses were able to make the change right away, they just instinctively knew what to do or they had the systems in place to make the change. They just went and did it. And then for other people, it was harder. They maybe weren't ready. They didn't have the technology. They just didn't have the knowledge to do it. And so we're seeing more and more as time goes on those other ships starting to come up and start offering services or doing curbside or things that we didn't see before. And so in a way, we do see those entrepreneurs learning a new way of doing business and kind of coming up to your point.
Yeah, that is awesome. One thing it reminds me of is that change is constant, right? So being flexible and adaptable to change is really what we're being tested on right now. Because if we can embrace that change, like you said, those ships are going to come up. So we are really the stewards of our own dreams and our own success as long as we can be flexible and embrace that change because change is constant.
Right. So Patty asked online what was in our mugs.
Ah, this is straight up coffee, little sugar, little milk.
Yeah.
Patty,
so
what are you drinking this morning?
Yeah, I did answer her back coffee, need more coffee. It is like a crappy gray, it's foggy here at my house day. So I do have coffee in here now. But Patty, no promises on what will be in here later. We've got homeschool today.
Nice.
If I know my girl Patty, she's also drinking coffee.
One new word alert, if we could have a new word alert, that we just learned is the opposite of distress is eustress. So apparently the eu is like the beginning of the word euphoria. And so what eustress is beneficial, positive stress. So, for those viewers who are with us this morning, what are some ways that you're experiencing eustress to deal with this whole situation?
So Tina, how about for you? Where have you, because I mean, this whole arrangement is very stressful in the not positive way. So where have you experienced eustress? Have you?
One thing that's pretty cool, I think, is this technology. And so, getting online and making sure that this works well is stressful, but I think it's actually a eustress because of it's keeping us connected. We're having this conversation. Not only is it the two of us, but it's all these awesome people that are watching this morning and commenting and participating with us. And so for me, that gets me really excited and really jazzed up. And I feel like that's a positive stress or like a eustress, right? And that will keep me going for the rest of the day. How about you?
Right. I think using technology and learning that. So like one of the big pieces so I do HR consulting. For those of you that don't know, I have a portion of my business that's HR consulting. And then the other portion of it is workshops and leadership training and strengths coaching. And the workshop side of my business has almost stopped completely. The HR consulting piece has still been pretty consistent. But so when half of your business is gone, you have to get creative, right? And so I've also been leaning in heavily to learning technology and how can I rebuild my workshops and do things that will help me be able to still offer things to individuals who are working from home, maybe want to do training and development. So, I even invested in a coaching call for myself last week because I believe when things slow down, it's time for me to invest in myself and develop. And so I did a coaching call, and this particular coach is a strengths coach and very talented. And she actually shared some technology tips with me as well, because she's located in Australia and I'm located in the US in Wisconsin. And so she's obviously very talented in using technology to pull that off. And so I was incredibly grateful for that time with her. And it actually made me excited about putting things together and offering it.
That's fantastic. And, you know, a little plug, I know today you're offering a networking workshop with the Chamber of Commerce. And so I'm super excited to participate in that. It's going to be fascinating to see how technology can be used to accomplish the breakout groups. And, you know, really, this is a whole new world paradigm. Like Sarah Jane just commented, it is amazing how technology is actually bringing us all closer together. And thankfully, this strange situation that we're going through is happening at this time in history, so that we have technology. Because I don't know what we would have done if this were the 80s.
Right, exactly. Or we were talking last night about what if the power went out and then we didn't have Wi-Fi? Things would come to a grinding halt. So thank you to all of our utility workers out there that are continuing. You are very essential.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you actually to all of the essential workers that are out there that are keeping things going along. And thank you to everyone else who's doing their part by staying home. You know, together, all doing our parts, we're going to get through this. We're going to come through on the other end and we'll be okay.
Right.
Yeah, Tamara, thank you for that comment. Connecting us worldwide. You're right.
Here's a new comment from Patty. She's still at it. I love it. Patty, thanks for hanging on with us. She said, love seeing all the small businesses paying it forward with giveaways, free meals, flowers, gift certificates, and cross-promoting. So this is kind of a big thing. I'll give a shout out to my girl, Teresa at State of Grace. She partnered with Sullivan Farms, and so they're doing some cross-promoting to help support each other. And, you know, Patty brings up a great point. Sometimes just buying a gift certificate to a business, even if they're not open right now, knowing that they're going to be open again, helps them financially keep things, you know, stable. And then Jason put up this awesome 10 ways to support a small business. So yeah, did I get the right way? So, you know, follow, like, share, comment, tag, post, all these different ways of supporting businesses. You know, it says without spending money, but just because you don't have a purchase, being able to share that message from that small business, somebody likely needs it or wants it. We've got Mother's Day coming up. I know in my circle, I have a lot of girlfriends with birthdays in May coming up. That's a great way to go out and kind of, Dean and I
are. We are adapting and embracing the change of this new technology.
Right. You know, it's a great time to like support some of those small businesses and gift shops. I've actually seen a lot of our even downtown small gift shops offering things online and curbside pickup. A lot of that is actually coming back online this week and next week. So, you know, go out there, look them up on Facebook. Just because you haven't maybe seen something from them doesn't mean they're not offering services. So I did a little bit of research this morning really quick, and there is a number of businesses that are going to be starting to offer things like that again. And it's really nice to be able to support them that way.
Yeah. And we're so fortunate, I think, to live in this great community that, again, has so many entrepreneurs with these unique businesses, and with everyone's support, it will all continue to thrive.
Right. Is there a particular gift shop or small business or something that like you guys really love and you can't wait for it to open?
Oh my God, I just can't wait for any place to open. I really haven't talked to somebody face to face in 6 weeks. So, I mean, oh my God.
No.
But, you know, it has given us an opportunity to, like, we've been driving out to Sullivan Family Farms that you mentioned, and their eggs are amazing. I seem to get there after some of the other stuff is already sold out, unfortunately, but it's worth the drive for the eggs. They make the best custard. So, yeah, again, this is just not the camera. You know, so we're talking about this cool new word, eustress, and it'd be really interesting to hear how other people are applying that word, if they can work it into their day. But so the opposite of eustress is distress, or like anxiety, worry, fear, and those emotions are not our friends, right?
Right.
So we are facing, you know, the unknown right now, but it's important that we power through these challenges and that we really meet these difficulties head on. You know, attitude is everything. So I've been listening to, just a ton of music, and one of my guilty pleasures is 21 Pilots, and they've got this great little verse, and it says that it's up to you, right? You can make it a surrender or a rebel. So it is your attitude, right? The same situation, you can either surrender to it and just, give up and mope through, or you can make it a rebel. You can embrace that change and figure out a way to celebrate it and be positive and come through on the other end. What do you think about that?
So some people might not know this about me, but I was actually married once before, and my first husband passed away, and I was 25. So when that happened, I learned really quickly, just part of my work ethic or whatever. I was kind of like, I've got to get back to work. I've got to do these things. This is what I'm here. There's a reason I'm here. I need to go and do this. And because of that, my brain is very much wired to just accept whatever the reality is and then find a path forward. So I agree with you that I think each step of the way have things happen that have been disappointing or frustrating without a doubt. There's moments I've sat down and, had my moment of tears and thought, I don't know if I can do this. I cannot be an elementary age school teacher. I can tell you that right now. Right. So there's been things that have been really hard. And there's been emotions that come with it, but because of kind of how I'm wired, I just, at some point, and usually a very short period of time, accept the reality, and then it's time to move on and find the path forward. So I just believe in it. I can't change it. It's not going to go away. So I'm not going to just turn a blind eye to it. I'm just going to accept that. And then we're just going to find a way to keep marching forward. And so I do think that having grit and having a little bit of positive mindset is so important right now, because we have to keep going. The reality is we have to just keep going. We have to find our path forward in the best and most positive way.
What a good example, Kristin. That is so powerful. So you have really been to the pinnacle, right, of the dark of night. And here you are, you are smiling, you are beautiful, you are successful, you are positive. So you're like my hero. Thank you for sharing your story, because
you're welcome.
That's just proof positive that anybody that is watching this today, no matter what the situation, and I mean, there are things that are dire, right? We can get through this. We will get through this, right?
Right. And I just believe, there are things that can happen. I don't have an answer or understand why that happened. But when I look at my life now, and I look at Doug and the girls, or I even look at being on screen with you right now, I was meant to be in this moment. I'm meant to be here doing what I'm doing. I'm meant to have my business and be an entrepreneur. And so I have to believe that, whatever your beliefs are, my path was to this moment. And so the way of navigating that in the best and most positive way is what we just have to do.
That is awesome.
Here's there you go.
That Jason's putting up, and I definitely want to be the woman on the right. We are making it a rebel.
I was gonna tickle her, but it's the wrong way.
That's awesome. So what it reminds me of is that we are making tomorrow's memories right now. So what we're doing at this exact moment, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, these are the memories, right?
Right.
So we really do need to, have a positive attitude, like you were saying, have that grit and make these the best memories possible, so that tomorrow when we look back, we're like, okay, that wasn't so bad, right? I was in a good place. Even if we're not in a good place necessarily, we can do what we can to make it a good place, because
right.
There's
yeah, go ahead, you can read it.
Yeah, Doug said, this is Kristin's husband, it is always best to choose progress over pausing. Yes, I love that. That's a good mantra. Progress over pausing.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be big, huge steps. These can be little eeny teeny baby steps, just so that you keep moving a little bit.
Oh, hello, Chris. Thanks so much for commenting. I'm going to read this one out loud for everyone. So this is Chris Cornelli, and she says, I'm grateful for living in this community every day. Huzzah! Have a dance party every day. Be grateful for a warm house, running water, great neighbors, a wonderful life partner, hey Rick, who I am beating our pandemic card to. Beautiful sermon Pastor Chris Gilbert gave before Christmas was about our lives being in order. Then sometimes we have disorder that we must then reorder. Loved you both. Love
Oh,
back at you, Chris.
Chris, that's so good. Again, another positive, like uplifting comment. I think it's so great to just hear even all the different places that people are finding encouragement. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that great comment.
And it's interesting. So even though we can't be together, there's no reason a person can't turn on their favorite music and have a private dance party, right?
Yep.
What a great form of exercise.
Right.
Dance around the house.
We love dance. We love having dance parties on. We have music on all the time in our house. And if I don't have music on, the girls start singing. And it's usually like silly, intentionally off tune to the point of like straight up annoying. And so they love having the tune and the beat in the house. And so we tend to have music on a pretty regular basis.
I love the video that you posted of your girls having a dance party before bed. That was so fun.
Yeah, we need to do that. We've done it in little spurts. They like to dance on our patio outside, but we haven't had the bed dance off party in about a week. So
I often think I want to be 8 again. And then I think to myself, why not just kind of embrace that joy of life, right?
right. Yeah,
And,
that's
our
right.
producer just put up another comment and I missed it. So
Oh, there we go.
I probably drive my own children crazy every day. We start our day with a compliment or something you are grateful for. Oh, yeah, that is a great suggestion. That is a very great suggestion.
That's my aunt and uncle. That's my aunt. That's my Aunt Cindy and my Uncle Peanut. I love it.
Nice.
Love you guys.
So, are you grateful for them? That's
100%. Yes, we've done drive-bys with them, and drops. Like they brought us chicken broccoli soup one day, and then we did dessert drive-through for Easter. So we returned the favor, and but we haven't really got I come from a long line of huggers. Those of you who have hugged me know that this is like, we do meaningful, firm, nice hugs. And so I think that it's been hard to not see them and embrace them.
I absolutely know. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. So it was raining, but we got out our golf umbrella and we drove over there and we stood on his front lawn and we sang happy birthday, right? And then when we got home, he sent a message and he's like, thank you so much for the birthday song. And I said, I just wish it could have come with a hug. And my dad texted me the little emoji where it's got like the going across the world. So he's definitely missing the hugs too.
Aw, that's so sweet. That's what a thoughtful way to kind of celebrate his day and, still be able to actually make eye contact with somebody.
Yeah, to still stay connected, as off key as it was. But then my mom had a good idea. As the weather's getting nicer, she said, what if we set up 2 tables in the backyard, some distance away? You bring your food, we'll bring our food, but we can still sit and kind of feel like we were having a meal together. So
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to trying that out.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I think as the weather, we've had like this last weekend, we had some nicer days where you can be outside and certainly distance a little bit more and start to bring some other people in. It is different, even I just think about last week, Jason and I did an event together and we decided to do it at the studio just for internet stability, but we stayed 6 feet apart or more the entire time we were together. But it's just like to be able to see a person and interact with them without that technology spacing in between. I don't know. It was just really fun. I was thankful for it. Oh, there's the birthday.
There's the birthday serenade, really far away. I mean, you can tell from the camera
so
shot.
Cool. I love it. That is so cool.
One other thing I'm thankful for is that with the extra time, so our son, he's a teenager and he's super science minded, right? Like he loves science, but he's got Jason's gift of art, being able to draw, but it's not something he typically pursues on his own. But we've been watching some animated shows together. And when he had some downtime, I was working in my office and he sat down and I said, hey, you can draw that guy? And he just totally started drawing it. And so now every day he's been drawing me a different character from the show and then like taping it up on the wall and making his own little gallery. And I'm just like, yes.
That is cool. I feel like this sounds like T too. I feel like the girls are looking to be challenged creatively. So because the kids are little, they're doing a ton of imagination play, just creative play outside. But I think when we're in the house, I mean, I guess they're building Legos and stuff, but it's a little bit harder to see that sometimes. And so we participated in the Dose of Hope campaign for Lighthouse Recovery, which is chalk drawings where you go and draw on the sidewalk. And so we did it at Pine River Dairy last week. And I said to my daughter, Grace, who is also very talented, do you think you could draw a cow? And she totally did it so well. I was so impressed by her. And it's amazing, kind of to your point, Tina, they're just looking to be pushed or challenged a little bit. And these like beautiful things come out of them.
Right. It'll be interesting, 10, 20 years from now to see what the impact of this whole experience is on this generation. I mean, it's possible they're going to end up being the greatest generation because of some of the things that they're going through and learning now, because it's so a-traditional from the way the rest of the world to this point has come up.
Right. I also think in the stay-at-home order, there was a lot of busyness. But it was all outside the home. So I just think about my perspective of like, I'm running a business, the girls are going to school, we have activities after school, and we're running and running and running, but we're not really together. And I just think about the impact on our relationship and our kids with literally spending almost 24 hours a day with them. And even with Doug, so I know you and I, we've talked about how meaningful our husbands are and our marriages are, but I have seen a transformation. Like in the beginning, I was annoyed by him because he was in my workspace during the day. And then we kind of set it up, but there was still like bickering and like, because we're figuring out we've never spent this much time together. So even our marriage has been an evolution where now, like in the last week or two, I feel like we've kind of had a breakthrough. We're settling into our routines. We're showing each other grace. Like we finally reached this point where we're almost like back to honeymooning again now, because we've worked through all those different stages of what does safer at home look like with your husband 24 hours a day, right? And like I am a total champion for marriage. I love my husband. I want nothing more than to protect the foundation of our family. So just to kind of go through this with him, we always know, okay, our marriage, we have the best interest in mind, but some of these points have been challenging in the house. And so, yeah.
I'd love to hear from our viewers what kind of experiences they're having in that regard, and any tips, tricks, any, how they're dealing with it.
Right.
And also, is there anything that, any new pursuits or old pursuits that you had set aside that you've re-picked up because you've been given the opportunity during this time?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we've been finding ourselves trying to connect more. So like Doug's family's in Ohio. We've done some Zoom calls with them, and like, honestly, we're not always great about it, but we found ourselves doing more of that, which I'm thankful for. I think sometimes just like being with the girls and doing stuff like, we've now 2 Sundays in a row gone to Hartman's and picked donuts up in the morning. And then one of the days we went and sat down by the lake and ate donuts on the tailgate of his truck and just looked at the lake and ate donuts with the girls. So like, these are just examples of normally we would get up and go to church and come home and eat. So that morning we watched church, and then we went and worked on the back stops at the complex. And then we went and got donuts together. So I think there's just some kind of sweet memories and new routines, but not really for me. How about for you?
Well, it's interesting. So when T was really small, he started playing the violin. He started taking violin lessons. And so in order to help him keep on track, and so I knew what the teachers were talking about, I started taking violin lessons. So as an adult learner, right, and I've got pretty much zero music skills, I loved it. I just really loved it. Like when you would hear the notes ring, and you could tell you were in key and just making sound. It was awesome, right? But about 2 years ago, I mean, I couldn't justify eking out the amount of time to practice, when I should be focusing on my business. So I just sort of set it aside. But I've picked it up again. I've been taking 10, 15 minutes a day, and it's amazing the muscle memory in my fingers that are still there. But last night, Teak also played clarinet, and he stopped playing last year, but he picked it up, put it all together, and started playing some of my violin songs just by sight reading. And I was just like, oh, I'm like, don't say anything. I don't want him to stop. Like,
right.
He was playing it. So, it goes back to that creative outlet and just, allowing yourself the time to do these awesome things.
Right. That is so cool. I actually played violin all through high school, from elementary school all the way through high school. So I think my violin, my sister actually played it after me. So maybe I should go pick that up from my mom and dad's house.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
We could play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on the coolest coast next week.
Next coffee on the coast. Tina
Right.
and Kristen, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I love it.
I know.
Well, there's a couple of other comments I just wanted to look at really quick. Sarah Jane mentioned that she loved seeing her son grow from super science math to using his creative side of his brain. So that is awesome. And as a mom too, that is, I don't know, so rewarding, right? Like that.
Right.
I'm happy to see that development happening. And then Chris Cornelli has a fun comment of what they're doing to pass the time as a couple. They play Perry Mason. Very fun. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see. Lisa Coulson also commented, so she loves her guy. He likes to be with her all the time. However, during the pandemic, it's shifted some goodness and graciousness. And that's kind of what you were talking about, Kristen, right? And family time at home, more laughter, more silliness. I really do think that the family bonds are deepening, reaching new levels through all of this.
Right.
And then Patty said, laughter, lots of laughter is key. And I absolutely agree. I believe that, it is up to us to embrace this change and to be audacious in support of our goals, right? To have the attitude that we've got this, we're going to get through this. Whatever challenges there are, we're going to power through, and it is up to us to be audacious in pursuit of our goals.
Right. Right. So, I mean, there's been a few businesses tagged on there, but if you've got a favorite small business or nonprofit, I would love for you to go and tag and give them a little shout out in the comments. We definitely want to just lift everybody up today and give everybody a chance to shine a little bit. And that'll give our followers a chance to see what other businesses are out there offering services. Sarah. My ex and I cohabitate, so I spend most of my time with my 3 bearded dragons when I'm at home.
Nice. She also mentioned that her youngest son plays the violin or ukulele, and yeah, it really is just a beautiful thing to hear resonating through the house, right? That pursuit of music. So thank you to everyone who joined us this morning and participated and shared your comments. We really loved hearing from you. Kristen, it is always a pleasure chatting with you. Love to everyone out on the coolest coast. Remember to embrace change, stay well, and be audacious and pursue your goals. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.